Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Joey Arnold Show. I'm Joey Arnold, your host, and we're gonna have a really good show. Maybe a really sad show because I really want to talk about a girl that I knew back when I was about 5 years old in 1990 in America, where I was born and raised. I met Tiffany Rochell Cumbo, and I really liked her. And I met her, it was like about 1990, I was about 5 years old, she was about 3 or 4, and it was like on a sunny day. It may have been on a Sunday, and it was sunny, and I was riding my red scooter to the park, and I lived only 7 houses from her, and I lived in space 163 in a ghetto, like in a house, like a trailer park. I lived in a trailer, like a manufactured home, and I was homeschooled, and one day, like, I don't know where my family was, I don't know what happened, but I decided to go to the park by myself, and I was on a red scooter, and then I was turning the corner, going onto another street, going towards the park, and I saw her, and I don't know if I've ever seen her before, but I saw her, and she said, "Hi, what's your name?" I was really shy, and I couldn't really talk to people that well. And I barely said my name. Joey. Ooh. I was really shy, and she said that her name was Tiffany Rochell Cumbo. And she said, "Do you want to play?" And we ended up running around her mom's car. I was on my scooter, she was on a tricycle, where we were playing Batman and Robin, and I was going after her like tag, going around in circles around like a car or some kind of vehicle, automobile, at her house, next to the train tracks, space number 170, and then her mom came home, and Tiffany said to her mom, "Hey, you want to meet my new boyfriend?" Her mom said, "He's not your boyfriend." "Yes, he is." "No, he's not." "Yes, he is." "Joey's my new boyfriend." "No, no, he isn't." "Yes, he is." "No." "Yes." "No." We became really good friends, and I took her back to her house, back to my place, and I showed her all my like toys and stuffed animals, and I had a wagon, and I pushed her around in my wagon, and I took her for a ride, and back to her house, and we had some of my toys, and we buried some of my toys in her neighbor's yard, and we had many adventures. I would hang out with her all the time since I was about 5 years old, and that was about 25 years ago. And so we were born and raised in the ghetto in Forest Grove, Oregon, in the United States of America. And so we're Americans. And one time we were playing house, and I was the father, and she was the mother, and my brother was our kid, like our teenage boy, and then his friend from across the street, Jesse Vargas, he was like a friend or our other kid in the game, in the story of House. Have you ever played House? It's a lot of fun. And they said, you know, we're teenagers and we need to learn how to kiss people, and we need to have like girlfriends and stuff, and you need to tell us because you have experience and you're older than us and you can help us, and so please help us. And please, you know, kiss and make out and stuff and have sex or something. Maybe not sex, but so I kissed her, and she was the first girl I ever kissed, and I was only about 5 years old, and I kissed Tiffany, and just a little bit on the lips, lip to lip. You know, it's not like one of those, like, I give you a little pin or something like you saw on Peter Pan. It's like a real kiss. Don't you know what a real kiss is? Kind of thing. And oh man, and she didn't really like it, and they wanted a little bit more, and they wanted to see more, like, oh, take off your shirt, take off your clothes, oh, do it again, roll around. And we were in the clubhouse in the front yard. We had a little, like a fort, like, you know, like a little house, in our yard, in the front yard, next to the big tree, and then we went inside onto my bunk bed, and then we went under the covers to kiss a little bit more, and she didn't really like it, and it was kind of like an awkward moment, but he's like, what can we do? We're playing house. And another time, we were playing hide and seek, and we told her to hide in our father's car inside the trunk. And then we went to vacation Bible school, and she wasn't still there. And like, we opened up the trunk because we heard somebody like screaming inside the trunk, like, let me out, let me out, let me out. Like, we're like horrible people, like almost like me killing guinea pigs and killing people. And like, I don't actually kill people, but it's like you don't like kidnap people, but we did. It's almost like trafficking, and you know, like trafficking with a K, like when you have to, you know, like Joseph and the what do you call it, dream coat, and you know, buy and sell people into slavery and sex and stuff, and prostitution and stuff. Except, you know, she wasn't into any of that, but I'm just trying to say that she was there, and she stayed there, and that was really nice, because I really wanted her to come with us to vacation Bible school, and then like there was prayer time, and she got really like scared and sad, and she shared a story. Like, she talked about how she and her family may move, and she'll have to make new friends and stuff. She was really, really sad. And then she came home, and then her parents were really, really angry because he came home really late, like 8 p.m. And it was really, really sad. And then it was almost like we couldn't ever like be friends again. And it was only like, I was still about 5 or 6 years old, and then later, like, I started to like her more and more. And I always remember that she didn't always eat her scrambled eggs. And I really liked eggs, and so I didn't really understand why she wouldn't eat all her eggs, And so I started to like her more and more as I got older. And oh yeah, so she introduced me to Rugrats, and I remember she used to tell me that I was a funny person, and that I should grow up to become a comedian, like Conan O'Brien or Jay Leno, or who are the other funny people? Robin Williams, Chris Rock. And when I was about 8 years old, I drew a picture of me and her getting married, and I started to think about that in 1993 or so. I was about 8, and I, you know, like, I started to think about that, but she already had a boyfriend, and that's usually what happens in my life, kind of thing. I like somebody, but then the girl says to me, oh, that's so nice, but I have a boyfriend, or I have a husband, kind of thing. And it becomes really, 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 really like sad and terrible, devastating. You can become really sad. You can become really angry when you're in those kinds of situations. And I drew a picture, and I wanted to marry her, but she already had other boyfriends. Like my neighbor Brian. I think his name was Brian, and then Jaya saw, and then it was Bill Bailey, and I remember one time it was like we were walking, and me and Tiffany and Jaya, and then they said, oh, please hide behind there, don't look, and they started to kiss each other, and I'm like, oh, I was so jealous, and they're like kissing each other, and I was only like 8 years old, and they were like younger, and I was so jealous. And then like some years later, in like 98, I was like 13, and she moved away, and I thought I would never see her ever again. And then a few years later, like in August 2001, me and Bill found her in like the Yellow Pages, the phone book, and we were able to like call her, find out where she lived, and we rode our bicycles. During that summer, I was about 16 years old. We were able to find her again. Because I didn't see her for like a few years or so. It felt like a very long time, and it was kind of weird because, before, like, we were just friends, and then later I started to like her, but then she had other boyfriends, and then I was like, okay, and I stopped trying to like her, like, more than friends, and then I started hanging out with her brother, and then she moved away, and so then we got reunited, and that was good, and she said something like that I was different, and then so I was a bit, like, concerned about that, and I was thinking, I'm different, like, and I was hoping that I wouldn't, like, grow up in a bad way. I want to grow up. I mean, I'm like Peter Pan and Michael Jackson, but, like, I want to grow up and be responsible, but I don't want to, like, lose, like, the bad things about me. And, like, I want to be able to, like, encourage people and smile and make people feel good, kind of like how I was, and not become, like, too old and too, like, angry and sad like some grown-ups do. And so I was a little, like, not sure what to think when she told me, like, in 2001, that I was different, that I wasn't the same little boy, that I was growing up. And then, so we started hanging out a little, and I would see her sometimes, and I would call her sometimes, but then, like, she was, like, coming back together with Bill, and that was a little, like, like, oh no, boyfriend, girlfriend with them, like, not me, and I'm, like, the third person, but, like, not a three-way, not a good kind of three-way, and, I was a little sad about that, but then, like, later she went to my high school, for a semester, and then she moved away again, and went, like, to a high school in Gaston, but then she came back, for the fall of 2002, and she was going to my high school, and I would see her, and I would talk to her at high school, and on the phone, and we'd have, like, we had three-way conversations on the phone, three-way calling, me, and Tiffany, and Bill, and then, so she was really small, like 5 feet 2 inches, and she had a guitar, and she was like a punk, and she was witty and clever and smart, like Crystal, my younger sister, and she was blunt and honest and very kind, very sweet to people. A lot of good things about her. She was like kind of like a tomboy, and she was very creative, and she was like kind of like an artist, and I don't know, like, she was just, like, different than a lot of other people, the hairstyle and the kind of clothes, like a punk, but, like, a good kind, not like an angry kind, but, like, she was like Avril Lavigne, and she was really cool, and I wanted to hang out with her more, but we had schedule conflicts, and then, like, one day, like, on the 4th of April, it was a Friday, like, I saw her, I high-fived her in the high school in the hallway, and she went to her daycare class, and to learn how to, take care of children, like, she can grow up to become a great mother, and then after school I was going to call her, but I didn't, and I was busy with play rehearsal, and I was learning my lines, and then Sunday night, I was like an actor, and I was in a play, and I performed with other people, my friends, and it was really good, and afterwards the people were happy, and they said, you were so good, because I did a lot of, like, impromptu stuff, like, I had the lines, but then at, like, Robin Williams, I would make up my own lines, and I knew exactly what to say, and they were really, really happy, and I was happy, and it was, like, one of the best moments in my life, and it was like a high point, it may have been the highest point in my life, because I felt like something special happened on that Sunday night, on the 6th of April 2003. But then Monday morning, I went back to high school, and they had the announcement from the loudspeaker that Tiffany died Saturday morning. And I didn't know that, and nobody told me, and I was really, really sad, and I didn't know what to think or do, and I was sad for, like, months, and I wrote and I drew things about it, and we have pictures and that we put together, and we went to the funeral later, and they say, like, maybe she died from, like, a Tylenol overdose because she was babysitting, and she had, like, a headache and a scar below her eye, and that's all I know. I think, like I really don't know what happened. That's all I know. Something to do with Tylenol, and I don't know what to make from it. And I want to know more, but I don't. And at the funeral, I stood up and I talked about her, and I made people laugh, and I talked about some things about her, like she wouldn't eat all her eggs, and I just said a few things about her, and I made people laugh a little or smile, and you don't really do that at a funeral, but I did. So what kind of person am I? A bad person or a good person? And that's what I did, and it was very, very interesting, very surprising, and what I take from this is that you never know what's going to happen in your life. Life is short, and don't procrastinate. Don't put things off. If you love people, tell them. If you have something you need to do or say, you got to do it now. The sooner, the better, because you never know when you're going to die or when somebody's going to die. It's just life is very special. Life is very very, very special. Like don't take your life for granted. Just don't. Life is so important, and your life matters to your family and to your friends, and you don't know how much you mean to other people until you're gone, or you don't know how much other people mean to you until they're gone or until you're gone. It's just very important that you do as much as you can to make the world a better place and to enjoy your time that you have, and make it valuable, because it's not a joke. Life is not a joke. So that's about all I wanted to say for right now about this girl, and I can probably say more, and I've said more before, but this is the end of my video for now, so thank you for watching. This is the Joey Arnold Show with me, Joey Arnold. Thank you, and take care. Ni hao. Goodbye.